Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and also we have Vanessa Mate in here.
Hi.
As you can see, her work is here on her website, nestillustration.com. She also has a YouTube channel and Instagram and a lot of other stuff, so you can check that down in the description. Awesome. So yeah, welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad to have any artists in here really. Um, it's always great to talk to other artists and other YouTubers as well. So you tell me a bit about yourself.
Yeah, I just turned 30 this year. I started out in traditional animation, actually. That's what I studied in school. And afterwards, I worked in a studio for a few years before I decided to strike out on my own. So I've been freelance illustrator since 2018. And since about a year and a half, I've been doing YouTube to teach tips about art business specifically. That's kind of my geeky zone. I've always really loved marketing tips and art business stuff, and I know that many artists struggle with that part. So I've been giving out advice.
Ah, well, that's cool. So freelancing about 4 years. Um, that
Yes,
sound
thereabouts.
that sounds very cool. And so before before the 4 years you were doing in studio work.
Yeah, I worked at a little studio in Montreal called Budge Studio. It was doing games for kids, basically tablet and phone
Ah.
games for kids. And so I worked there for 3 years doing illustration and animation. It was pretty cool, honestly. It was a pretty
Mm.
chill job. But then I just kind of wanted to stop doing all the meetings and the bureaucracy and stuff
Mm.
and just be on my own.
Yeah, that's fair enough, eh? Cool. So yeah, you actually decided to be. When did you decide to actually, go more freelance?
I decided in the spring of 2018, and by July, I'd quit my job. And so I went in pretty cold turkey. I just quit my job and I was like, well, now I got to figure this
Mm.
out. And
Mm.
so it was really hard first. I want to say like 6, 8 months was really difficult. I don't think I would suggest necessarily doing it that way, but I'm a pretty good in sink or swim sort of situations. So
Mm.
I eventually figured it out, and now it's going a lot more smoothly than it went that first year.
Mm. Definitely. Well, I think you get, if you sink or swim, you do get find anything and just really try to swim. Try
Yeah,
everything in your power. Yeah.
I just threw everything at the wall to see what would work. And the thing is, I wasted a lot of time and effort during that time. I was hustling 24/7, but a lot of the things I was trying out, I know now are just a waste of time
Mm.
and are just not good strategies at all. I did a lot of Upwork and Fiverr and those sort of websites. That's just not such a great idea. And that's kind of why I do the YouTube channel now because I know better now. And so I want to give aspiring illustrators a little head start.
Mm. Yeah, so sometimes it's good to go through that, trial and error thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, because you notice what's not to do pretty quickly,
Hmm.
but it's good to listen to a lot of people who've already done it and know what not to do. Um, yeah.
Could save you some time, but there are definitely two categories of trial and error things. There are things that just don't work for anyone.
Mm.
And then there are things that are more like personal, maybe things that I personally didn't take to or didn't like, it didn't work for me, but maybe it might work for other people. So there's these types of things that's good to try for yourself.
Mm.
Hmm.
Definitely. Everyone's situation's different, so obviously, different things are gonna
Yeah.
work. Um,
Definitely. Different markets work differently as well. I did
mm.
mostly picture book illustration in the first 3 years. And recently, actually, I've been transitioning to the surface design market, which is like greeting cards and patterns for fabrics and that sort of thing. And already I'm noticing it works completely different
Mm.
than it does for picture books. So every single industry and market is just different.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Mm.
definitely. How was it? Children's gaming studio like? You know.
Well, it was really fun. Like I personally, you've seen my website. I like to draw things that are really cute and
Mm.
colorful. So this was a really good fit for me. I had a lot of fun. Like we worked on My Little Pony game and stuff like that. You know, we had some pretty big brands, and it was some pretty fun stuff. But it's also very perfectionist. So like there are
Mm.
times that we could have been working for like 4 months on something, and then in one meeting they decide to go another direction. It's just 4 months of work down the drain. You know, you
Yeah.
can start again. And
Mm.
so that part gets a little frustrating. There's
Mm. Yeah.
a game, one game in particular. It was a strawberry shortcake game, I think, and I worked on that game for a year and a half. And honestly, looking at the final product now, I struggle to point out things that I personally worked on
Mm.
because it's changed so much in the time that we worked on it, that a lot of the things that I didn't make the cut for the final game. And so you're just kind of like, what have I been doing for the past year?
Mm. Yeah. I see. That sounds cool to work with. It's the kind of thing I want to get into possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun things about it too. The team was really great too, very tight knit,
Mm.
and they gave a lot of freedom to their artists, which was really fun. Like every artist there did everything. We didn't have specialties, like one person does just the backgrounds and one person just animates. Everyone did everything, and so there was a lot of variety, and that was really fun.
Mm. Yeah. I think because it's a smaller studio, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It,
Yeah.
it grew a lot while I was there. I was there for 3 years, and at the beginning, they were quite small still, but they were in the middle of expanding, and they like tripled the size of their art team in the
Mm.
first year, and we had to move to another offices even because it grew so much. But they kept this small feel. I actually learned that the first artist that was hired there, which was actually a graduate from the same school that I went to, he set it up this way. He's the one that set up the system as the first artist there, as the senior artist there. He set up like how artists were going to work at this company, and he set it up good for us.
Awesome. That sounds pretty cool. It
Yeah.
sounds like a person that, yeah, kind of really knows his workers, you know?
Yeah, he went like, I know that the artists are going to have fun doing a lot of different things, so I'm going to set it up so that everyone does everything. And it turned out it made it a lot easier to schedule people as well.
Awesome. That sounds pretty
Mm.
cool. Um, anyway, after that, I was wondering what your kind of for getting your first clients was like.
Mm. So at first, like I said, I was having a lot of trouble. My first portfolio that I did for freelance, at this point, I'd already been, in school. I already been working at a studio for 3 years. I was fairly confident in my abilities, but there's a big difference between art quality and a good portfolio, a strong
Mm.
portfolio. And so I was showing all the wrong things for a picture book illustration. I wasn't showing any finished pages. I wasn't showing any storytelling. Some images were just backgrounds because I'm good at backgrounds. I wanted to show that off. But in picture book illustration, what's important is the characters. And so at first, I was sending my portfolio out to all these publishers, and I was getting zero out of that because my portfolio sucked.
Mm.
And so for the first few months, I did some remote freelance work for some local studios, just to pay the bills. So I was basically doing the same thing that I was doing at Budge, but freelance for other studios, just while I figured that thing out. And after I had a couple portfolio reviews and revised it, and I was able to get my first picture book contract in January of 2019. So after about 6 months in, I got my first book.
Ah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool. Awesome.
And afterwards it was mostly books, and then also some smaller contracts, like sometimes book covers or little spot illustrations for this and that, educational type gigs, but mostly books because they're fairly big projects. You can spend
Mm,
anywhere between 3 to 6 months on one book, so you don't need too many of them to fill up your schedule.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I've worked on my own books, and they're about 14 pages, I think. Um,
Yeah,
and
it seems endless.
yeah, and I'm still kind of working on it after kind of 2 years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
You're writing as well?
yeah, I've read the books that I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also got another book that I'm slowly gonna be working on. As you can see, I've created a character for it. Um,
Oh, the dinosaur.
yeah, a
Oh,
dinosaur book that I'm looking at
awesome.
creating. Yeah, it was a idea from years back. I think when I was a kid, we had this little project to make like a storybook.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was intermediate, which is 11, 12. Must be 11, I think. Um, yeah, but in that year we had to make a little kind of storybook. And that year I wasn't that great at drawing. I was kind of good at dinosaurs and dragons and that kind of thing because it's the kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing I really enjoy drawing. Um, but I wasn't good at people at all. So I got my sister to draw the person at that stage. I was like, trying to get my sister to draw this character because she was interested in drawing characters at the time.
Yeah. Well, you
Um,
guys play to your strengths.
yeah, it was quite cool. I put it all together and um, even all her drawings and things I would stick down in the book and put it and place it and everything. Um, but yeah, this comes from that whole story that we created, and I wanted to. It's always been back in my mind. Want to recreate it. Want to delve into it. Um,
That sounds
unfortunately,
really cool.
I don't know where the original is, but I have kind of the idea, and um, yeah, I look forward to keeping on creating that. It's always fun. Um,
That's too bad though that you lost the original. I bet that would have been really cute.
yeah, it might be somewhere, but yeah, it's challenging to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, um, with your, I was wondering about your YouTube channel. With
Hmm.
that, how did you build that up?
Well, as I was starting to get, more contracts and get more successful, I was getting a lot of DMs and even emails from questions, from aspiring illustrators. And it started to be a bit much because I'm such a people pleaser. I would just answer every single one of them, take a lot of time with them to really answer
Mm.
their questions. And sometimes, I would do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes it would be like 2 hours, 2 hours and a half before I actually got to work.
Yep.
And a lot of these questions were also, repetitive, the same over and over again. But I started seeing like there's really a need there. And
Mm.
if I made, at first, it was really like if I make a YouTube channel, like I could just link the video and get to work.
Mm.
But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the teaching part and helping out. And so, yeah, that's why I started the channel, and I've been really enjoying it.
Awesome. Well, that sounds cool. You filled that need, um, which I think in turn makes it a little bit more successful. Because you've already kind of got that need sitting and waiting there, and people are just finding their need there. Um,
Yeah, I was actually very surprised how well it did, like straight away. I think I got like, I posted the link to one place, to my new, like, hey, I have got a new YouTube channel, and I had like 3 videos up there, and I posted the link to one place, and I got like 100 subscribers, like on the first day.
mm.
And I was like, whoa, okay. And I think by now we're like at 7,000 or something, and it's been about a year and a half. So it's actually been it's been going really well. And I've been kind of surprised because, as everyone, I'm having so much trouble growing the Instagram, and it's like a slog and all of that social media stuff. But this channel has really, from the start, done very well. And so it's been really encouraging that people are enjoying this stuff and want to see more. So that's been fun.
Awesome. That's great. Um, I see on your Instagram you're represented.
Yeah, I'm represented by Astound Us, which is an agency based in New York, but they do stuff a lot in the UK and all over the world. And I've been with them for 2 years now.
Awesome.
hmm But they're more of a publishing agency. Most of their clients are with publishing. And so I got a lot of work from them in the first year and a half that I was with them. But now that I'm transitioning to the surface design, they've gotten me a couple of licensing deal, one with for a greeting card and one for a wrapping paper licensing deal, which those are royalty type deals.
Hmm.
But they're certainly not the same volume as with the book deals that I was getting with them, and so that might become a problem at some point.
Yeah.
Although I'm getting a lot of my own work, so I don't rely on the agent. So right now it's not a problem, but at some point I might have to find a licensing agent that really specializes in that stuff, because it's really important to find an agent that's really a good fit. And it was a really good fit, but now that I've changed everything, not so much.
Do you think you kind of changing a lot now, or?
Well, it's a completely different market.
Mm.
Most of their clients are publishers that do picture books,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I'm trying to license for fabrics and greeting cards and wrapping papers and that sort of thing. And they have a little bit of clients in that area, but it's much smaller compared to their publishing clients, which is what they specialize in. So they have like a huge network
Mm.
in publishing. And so, yeah, that's been a shift. But like I said, I don't rely on them for work. So I'm not really missing it. So, so
Yeah.
far, I'm good.
Oh, that's good. Um, yeah, yeah, and you also run courses, which is pretty cool. I've seen a few of them um, out there as well.
Sorry, what? Rent classes?
Courses.
Oh, right, courses. Sorry, I heard clauses for some reason. I was like, what? Yeah, because of the YouTube format, I make videos that are maybe 10 to 15 minutes long, and it's like little snippets. But after a while, I wanted to do something that was more of a big overview that gave people a more uh, solid plan, step one, step two, step three, that really went thoroughly. And so I did the course, which level one and level two are now out, and they're doing really well. So that's been really interesting. In terms of the money, it's actually been very successful, but it is taking away some time from the drawing. And so I have to balance that out, because sometimes, after I finish teaching for a couple months, I'm like, okay, I really need to draw now. I want to draw. So anyone who's thinking about making art courses, you have to really love it, because it will take time away from your drawing,
Yeah,
which is a problem.
definitely. Um,
hmm
yeah, it's always got to be kind of a conscious thought with, that kind of thing, income and what you do. Even, running a YouTube channel, for me, there's times where, it is taking away from actually drawing and creating. Um,
hmm
but for me, that's part of my channel. I'm drawing during, these things. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not physically drawing now, but you can see drawing in the background.
hmm
So it feeds into that. It gets me that I need to create this each week. So I need to keep up with my YouTube channel speed, and kind of gives me.
Yeah, that's a pretty good accountability tool for you
Mm,
to have this sort of quota.
so it feeds into that kind of a
hmm
thing, and drags me, pulls me. It's like, oh, if you don't finish this week, you're not gonna get a YouTube channel done. Um,
Yeah, it's
so
pretty cool. It all works together.
yeah, that's the thing, but it can take away some time, because it does. Yeah, obviously about 20, 40 minutes a week is recording time. It's not drawing
hmm
or creating anything. Um, but yeah, I'd work that out. I try working in the best I can. Um, obviously, I don't get to always be like, I'm going to record at this time during the week, because I got artists in. So, but usually it's sometime within the weekend I stream. I have had a few odd occasions where I've had really odd times, like I would wake up 3 a.m. to do a stream or something, you know. Um,
Wow.
so I've had times like that, but yeah, it's lots of fun.
Yeah, I bet that you've also perfected your process. At first, it was taking me such a long time to do videos, but now I've kind of got the schedule down. I film one day um, for the whole month. I film the videos for the whole month, and then I edit them in the following weeks. And so it's certainly gotten better because at first I was like, how am I going to do this? It's just so much
Mm.
work.
Yeah, yeah, it was challenging at first. You know, first I kind of started out kind of smallish, I guess. You know, I was only
Hmm.
playing around with the idea that I've got this, you know, making YouTube
Yeah.
videos. I was developing as a creator. I didn't know what I fully wanted to do. I was just trying to find something. Um, and then, you know, I decided once I had got the grips of what I was doing, I was like, I'm doing 2 videos a week now. Um, and that fitted in okay. I now have dropped that because I was like, well, it's not adding any more value. Um, you know, and it's just taking away from all that time I could be drawing. So it was like, okay, well,
It's a
I'll
balance.
I will slow it down a little bit. Now I'm only doing kind of 1 video a week. Um,
Hmm.
I still always do just as much work in illustration and creating things, if not more. um, so you know, it's always good. And yeah, it has taken me a long time to develop that. Um, could be longer than others. um,
Well, everyone has their own pace and everything. I also took a lot of time to figure out exactly how it was going to work. At first, I was doing 4 videos per month, so one per week. And I mean, it did get me into a sort of rhythm and figure things out. But then like you said, it was like shorter videos because I had to crank them out. Now I do 2 or 3 videos per month max. Most of the time, it's more like the 2 per month. And but that allows me to do longer videos, 20 minutes, sometimes even 25, and better content. And so
mm,
that's you say you're doing the same amount of drawing, but you're just putting them into a shorter amount of videos, so you have, I guess, more in each video. And I think people appreciate that. Better
mm.
content versus just quantity.
Yeah, it definitely. This thing I now get to do. Um, well, I'm actually doing more illustrations now. Because I was doing like one piece, and then it would be like part one, part two, part three of it. So you
Hmm.
know, every 3 weeks I would have a piece kind of finished. Um,
Hmm.
but now I think I probably finish a piece probably once a week now. Um,
Mm.
and that's yeah.
So would you say you've also improved your drawing speed?
um, yes, but then you know I delve into also um pushing it further as well. You know, because I
Mm.
do have that time now that I can push things further if I really need to. Um,
Yeah.
so now I'm going over some pieces and being like, oh, I need to edit these and
Yeah, I know the feeling. When you have more time, you can take more time.
mm, definitely. Yeah, recently I've actually started recording my time that I spend drawing.
Mhm.
I did that probably 2 or 3, probably 2 months ago. Um, I started it, and that has been a real game changer, I think. Because I now know physically like how much time I'm working on
Yeah.
these things. Where if you just be like, oh, I'm going to spend the night doing this, you don't actually, and you do that every day and during the week. Um, you don't actually know physically like how much time you actually put in.
Yeah,
And
very true.
and
I think
yeah.
it took me quite a long time to be able to estimate properly how long it was going to take me to do a project. You
Mm.
know, at first, I think the whole first year that I was freelancing, to be like, "Oh, this project is going to take me, I think, 10 hours." And then I would actually invoice them that, but then it will end up taking 20 hours.
Mm.
But as time goes, you kind of get better at that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, and you can fall back on it too. Be like, well, I've only spent 2 or 3 hours in the last few days doing this.
Hmm.
I really need to push it, or do an hour here or 2 hours there or whatever, to make up. Because at the moment my goal is
Yeah.
to do at least 10 hours illustration a week. Um,
Hmm.
So yeah, I know if I'm slacking off, I've only done 30 hours in one night or something, or 30 minutes in one night, 30 hours. Um,
You're gonna get behind.
yeah, I'm gonna be like, I'm behind. I know, I can see it, like I can see because I got bored of, how many weeks worth of videos I've got set up.
Hmm.
So that I can, and it's good too because I've got a couple of weeks here. If I do need someone to stream with, or someone's keen to stream with me, say a week early, or whatever, I can just be like, oh yeah, export that video, and boom, I'm off.
You
Um,
like what we're doing today?
yeah. Although this video here will be on the day after, so that'd be cool. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's a week or two before, which is great to do as well.
Hmm.
The video's all sorted. I can get to my weekend and be like, "Oh, do I have a stream this week? Oh no, I don't. Yay!" Or well, it's awesome to do, but it's great to have that time too to be like, oh, I don't have to do a stream, or I don't have to do any recording. I can just paint, which is great.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah.
really got smart about this, and working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, I've just been trying to work harder for a long time, um, and now really delving down into, yeah, working smarter.
That's really the ticket because actually just last week I posted a poll in my Facebook group. What are your biggest struggles in illustration? I was just trying to get some ideas for videos.
Hmm.
And the answer really surprised me. I was expecting like finding clients or even like drawing hands or like things like that, but most of the answers were I struggle with time management,
Hmm.
and that really blew my mind. But then when I talked to the people a little bit more and read their answers, I figured out, okay, they're trying to do like all the things. They think like I suck at time management because I'm not able to draw and have an updated Instagram and Twitter and email art directors and do all my admin and update my portfolio and blah, blah. Basically, they're like trying to do everything, and they think that they're not disciplined enough or that they need to be better at managing their time because they're not able to keep up with everything.
Hmm.
But in fact, no one can do all of this. You need to focus on the things that are actually moving the needle, and the stuff that is not, like Fiverr, Upwork, and wasting too much time on social media at the beginning of your career instead of doing like active methods of finding work and all that sort of things. um, Focusing on the things that can actually get you work, actually get you closer to your goals. That's how you time manage, by removing distractions.
Hmm.
And yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely a struggling thing for a lot of artists. I
Hmm.
definitely have had issues with it in the time management, but especially like I went to course, um, and you'd see how many of us there was about 20 or 30 that started. Yeah, 20 or
Hmm.
30 that started in the class. By the end of the 3 years, there was only 8 left. Um,
Wow.
and that some of them started out and wasn't the thing for them or whatever. Others were like, getting to some of the projects that were a bit more intense and starting to get behind on them, and you can see
Mm-hmm.
the kind of time management struggles. Um,
Yeah.
and what I saw in most of those cases, there were things on top of them that made them struggle, and you know, either could have been health problems, other things outside of
Mm-hmm.
their life that um, really pulled them back. But you can
Yeah.
see, where kind of their time management was and how, they dealt with it.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
yeah.
it's things that we can't do anything about, like health problems. That's,
Mm.
well, we can go to the doctor, but sometimes it's not like within our control. But there are things that are within our control to change, and that's what we can focus on.
Mm.
And I would say I get a lot of people in my courses who don't have a lot of time. And that's why
Yeah.
they decide, okay, I'm going to pay for this. Instead of like trying to do the research all by myself, doing the trial and error, and you can figure it out by yourself. You can. That's what I did.
Mm.
But it just takes more time. So a lot of these people are people who already have a day job, so they don't have a lot of time, or they have kids, or whatever it is. And there's a very small window of time every week that they can work on their career. And so they've decided to just cut the bullshit and buy a course so that they have a specific plan, step by step, to waste as little time as possible and move forward their goals as efficiently as possible.
Mm.
And that's where a course can be useful, because I'm never I never tell people, you have to buy my course. You really don't. It's really a nice to have. It's, if you want, you can succeed without them. But if you want it to be easier and take less time, that's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. You have a target market there, eh?
It's just there are people who email me and
Mm.
they're like, "Oh, I really want your course, but I don't have any money." And sometimes after discussing with them, I'm like, "Do not buy my course. Like, you can't afford it right now, and you can figure this out by your own. It's going to take you a little bit more time." For some people, if they have a day job, they may have that cash flow, and money is not as much a problem, but time is. So it all
Mm.
depends on our needs.
Yeah.
And there are people who should not get my courses, and there are people who really should get my courses.
Get it if you can afford it.
Exactly. And if it's for you, I
Yeah.
definitely don't want to take anyone's money if it's not for them. And then I just get a bunch of people who are not happy with it. Then that's not what I'm about.
Mm. Yeah. Definitely. Um.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's definitely a big thing. Time management skills.
Yeah,
Leveling those up. Um.
because as a working artist, there's just so much. And even as an aspiring artist, even before we start taking professional contracts, just with developing the portfolio, as developing the social media and developing our skills all at the same time, it's just a lot. There's a lot of hats that we have to wear. But if you've been struggling to do everything and it's not working out for you, I'm saying you, like, as in the viewer, not you,
Mm.
Daniel.
Yeah.
But if any of you have been like struggling so much with doing everything, then there's probably some things that you don't need to be doing right now. And you can
Mm.
focus on one thing at a time as well, so that you can progress faster.
Yeah. And as well, other artists, they don't always do everything. There's,
No.
I know some YouTubers and things. They actually hire other people to edit their
Mm-hmm.
videos, or um, to do whatever, their social media stuff or whatever it is. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, when they're at a higher level and the kind of a thing. But these artists that look like they're posting 24/7 and all this stuff. Some of them do have other people that do other things.
Absolutely. Like, for my Etsy shop, I have a PR team, which sounds
Mm.
very official, but it's a bunch of ladies who get my products for free in exchange for using them on social media with my link. And so I don't really pay them, but I give them free product.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hire my first assistant in the summer, which also sounds a lot more official than it is, but it's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
because he's actually an admin. My boyfriend
Yeah.
is an admin. I've been begging him to come work for me for a long time. He's been really hard to get. But between my freelance illustration, my Etsy shop, the YouTube channel, and the courses, a lot of people ask me, how do you do it all? And I don't. Things have been falling through
Mm.
the cracks like crazy. I have been posting on Instagram for like months. uh, there's just all of it cannot be done, and so I'm really excited when he comes aboard. He's going to be doing the YouTube editing. He's going to be doing all the listings for Etsy. He's going to be doing a lot of the uploading on social media. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, it sounds cool.
I look forward to that. And basically everything that I don't like doing, he's gonna do.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, when you see someone who seems to have it so much under control and they're doing everything, there's probably something. Either they're they're spending a lot of time on social media and appearances, so they look more successful than they actually are, but they're not getting any paid work because they're spending all their time on Instagram, or they have help, because humanly, we all have the same 24 hours.
Hmm.
Mm.
So yeah, it is. It is. You just have to look, um, and keep in mind your situation and what you're doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what you can do more rather than what they're doing. That's
Yeah,
what I
and
think.
that's when personally, when I was hustling a lot during my first year, when I started seeing more success is when I started cutting out stuff. So at some point, I just, yeah, I was almost having a burnout, and I was just like, okay, Fiverr, I hate Fiverr. I'm not doing that anymore. Upwork, I'm not doing that anymore. And the more I cut
Hmm.
stuff, I had more time to focus on this other stuff that was working better, and that's when I started succeed more.
Hmm.
Mm.
Awesome. Yeah, I've tried Upwork myself. I've never gotten any hits on it or anything. Um.
Like, it is possible
Hmm.
to get gigs, but it takes a lot of effort, I feel, for
Yeah.
the something for what you get back.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time put in, and it's like thrifting, right? There's so
Hmm.
much crap to sift through, and then once in a while you find something good. But it's just so much easier to email an art director, honestly, who has an
Hmm.
actual budget from the beginning, than
Exactly.
trying to sift through all the $5 logo jobs on
Yeah.
Upwork. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, they can even be big jobs, like, 3, 4 weeks or a couple of months worth of jobs on
There
there
are
as well.
there are picture books
Hmm.
deals on Fiverr, and that horrify me. Some of them are like 5 months worth of work, and they're offering like $1,000, and
Yeah.
that's just terrible.
Yeah.
That's just terrible. There are a lot of people, especially at the beginning, they think, well, it's going to be good for the experience, and even if it's not a lot of money, $1,000 is better than zero. But
Hmm.
the time that you're spending on it is time that you could have been working on an actual paying job that would have paid your bills, or even that you could have spent that time finding better opportunities. So it's actually so bad, because
Yeah.
your time, that's the only asset that you cannot get back, and that time could have been better spent to further your career rather than wasted on things like that. Mm.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It is a struggle in there. When I tried it. Um,
Yeah,
because
it's frustrating.
yeah, you have to sift through like you said, but you also when you apply for them, there's like 30 or 40 other people at least,
Yeah.
for each position, and oh my god, I don't think I've had any hits on there, and it hasn't bothered me really. I'm like,
No.
some of these jobs are like, maybe $30, $40. I'm like, nah, all
Yeah.
good. Um,
The thing that's interesting is that platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, they're kind of a low barrier to entry. It seems it's so much less intimidating to just put up your stuff on Fiverr or apply for jobs on Upwork than it is to put together a portfolio and start emailing art directors.
mm,
There are a lot of artists at the beginning, they don't feel qualified to start reaching out to art directors, or they feel very scared at that prospect. And so going for platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, that's just a lot more approachable, especially at the beginning. But because of that, that means everyone and their grandmother is on there. And that makes it the most competitive place ever to find work. And that actually makes it more difficult to find work than when you're going directly to the art directors. You know, I've had a lot more success going directly to the art directors than I've had on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. And the fact that there's so much competition also drives down the prices, which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just you know, contacting those art directors. They're they're your buddies in a way.
Yeah.
um
They are much less intimidating than we would imagine. They're not, we kind of put them on a pedestal sometimes, and we're like, oh, so scared, like, please give me a job, oh god, of of publishing. They're just normal people, and
mm,
they need what you're offering. They need an artist, so you're giving them exactly what they're looking for at the same time as they're giving you a job, and so you're not doing them a favor. And they're also just normal people. And trying to build a real relationship, talking to them like they're not on a pedestal but just normal and being casual, that's just a lot better. That works out a lot better.
mm, awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool. Um, yeah, any last things you'd like to say here?
Well, thank you so much for having me. That was really fun. Your dinosaur got so much more detailed very quickly than I thought it would.
Mm,
It was really
chill.
fun watching.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I discussed, my level 2 course, which is actually the course about finding clients. The level 1 is about portfolio, and the level 2 is about finding clients. And that is coming back on May 15th, is
May
reopening the
15th.
doors. There's
Awesome.
gonna, yeah, May 15th, and there's gonna be a $50 off coupon for the first 5 days. So if any of you seems interested, then hurry up and do it in those first 5 days, because that's gonna be a better deal.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, all your links will be down in the description for Vanessa there. So you can check out her work. She has some awesome work here. She's done some Harry Potter. She's done a llama, and some
Yeah,
unicorns. So
yeah, that was an alpaca, I think.
alpaca. Yeah, they're similar but different. It's always hard to tell sometimes, I think. But yeah, keep creating, everyone. Keep drawing, and see you in the next video.
Bye bye.